I'm joined by Super Samoan himself, Mark Hunt. How are you, Mark?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having the show, bud.
Mate, it's a pleasure. So, Mark, I'm going to cut to the chase, mate. With all the fighters asking for more money, and I've been following your call for a fighters union for a while. What is your take on these going-ons, mate?
Well, I think it's normal. I mean, I too have went through when I was employed, or actually when I was working for them. It happened to me many times. I'd argue with them about money many times. I mean, I've put a few of my discrepancies with my contracts up on my Instagram, and Facebook. They talk about contracts like Dana does, but he doesn't even honor his own contracts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I've put up there that's happened to me. So, there's no way. Why should the fighters listen to his contracts? Why should they do what I say to him when he doesn't listen to his own contracts himself? I mean, they're going to end up suing that guy or the company and all getting paid out. They won't be paid out at all. They won't be able to leave. They won't be able to work for another company. They'll be just put on the back and starved out probably about 2 years. They won't be able to work for any company unless they come to some agreement. This is what's going to happen to them. This is what they try to do to me.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed a few of your fights. It's just they had a dark cloud over them. I mean, remember the fight with Brock Lesnar when they let you fight, when you failed a steroid test. I mean, that shouldn't have happened, should it?
A lot of things happened between that. That wasn't the reason I filed that lawsuit, is because there was a few of them in a row, and they didn't do anything about it. And even when they found out that he was cheating, they had the power to take the money off him, but they never did. And the contract says we have the power to take the money off him, and they never did. And we asked them, now that you know that he's cheating, he's been caught cheating, you can take the funds off him. Don't give it to Mark, just take it off him. Yeah. And what do? They sent me a letter saying from their lawyers that they've honored their contract with Brock Lesnar. So they don't honor their own contracts. They're full of it. So Dana says they don't honor that he's made a deal with these guys and to honor the contracts, but he doesn't do it himself.
Yeah,
and when the says, "Oh, we don't force people to fight," that's a lie too.
Yeah,
he forced me to fight against that freaking steroid user Alistair Overeem, and they even gave that idiot IVs when they weren't allowed to. So he's full of shit. That guy, he's a liar.
Yeah. So back to the original question. Do you think it's the right time, given the no ticket sales and everything, and the guys asking for more money, or is there no time at the present?
They say it's not the right time, but this was a question that was asked them way before this COVID even started.
Yeah.
This thing started way before this COVID came along. And even now, I mean, the percentage that they're paying is still low. They're paying 20% or whatever the frick it is. It's half or low. When they could be paying, when they should be paying 50%. Dana and all these guys make all these excuses like, "Oh, it's the COVID. I'm trying to keep the bus going." You made $75 million in one show, and you only paid the top guy $350,000.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What kind of horse shit lies are you telling everyone? He's full of shit, man. That's why they're trying to bring in this Ali Act so we can see where all the money is going and the fighters can get a fair deal out of it. Right now they're getting screwed. When I was working for that company, I was getting screwed. That's why I'm all for this. I joined in this other lawsuit, this Ali Act. Despite my thoughts on Jones and the other guy that's been caught cheating and stuff, I'm in a personal lawsuit against that Brock Lesnar and those guys with my other lawsuit. Antitrust, this class action is another lawsuit that I jumped aboard because I do feel it's unfair, and they did the same thing to me when I was working with them. It was always a matter of asking for more money. I never got the bout and all, but as you can see, look at the champions right now. They're asking for more money. Why? Because they're not getting paid their fair share. Why should these champions not get paid the same as Tyson Fury or fucking Anthony Joshua? Why can't they make $75 million? These guys are struggling to make $1 million. Why shouldn't they make this kind of money when the whole world's watching UFC?
Do you think the undercard would struggle then to get fighters? If the top guys on the top level are making that kind of money, would the lesser fighters earn less then, or do you think it should be throughout the board?
That you get paid what you're supposed to get paid. If you're starting in the company, you should get. Well, they're only sharing even if it's 20% now. They're sharing 20%, and then they make their bullshit up. Who are saying, "Oh, if the top fighters get more money, the lower fighters get lower money. They've taken away all their sponsorships. They've taken away all that. They've taken, the fighters will get what they deserve, as in like levels. If you're beginning in the UFC, you should get beginner money. If you're fighting in the top end, you're the champion, you should get the amount of money you're supposed to get, and that's 40% or 50% of the total revenue.
Yeah. So do you think then if they did away with the Reebok deal and their fighters go back to their own sponsorship, that would make their money up, or do you think that's not an option?
Well, they're not going to go back. They've sold their houses to Reebok.
Yeah.
Why would they go back? They've taken away all these fighters from other sponsors. And even when you get a sponsor these days, they say to you, in my contract, it said, if I got a sponsor on board, the sponsor has to pay the UFC $100,000 before they can pay me. Now, who the fuck, what kind of company can pay that? Unless it's a big company. None.
Awesome.
So these guys have just tied up everything. They don't make their money from sponsors. Some of them have to get jobs, I'd say, but it's a crooked deal from the get-go. And like I said, I've been in there. It's happened to me. I've seen the contracts. I've done it all. This is all stuff. When some guy says to me, they might sue you for slander. Well, how can they when it's all true? Everything I've spoken is true because I've experienced it all.
And you're following up the lawsuit to prove it's true. So another question for you. If they did start a fighters union, would you like to get involved with it, or do you just want to see it start?
There's already an association already built there.
Yeah.
Part of a class action lawsuit that we're trying to do. I've put the contact details to get part of it. We've got a lot of fighters joined up already with the association, and that's all. That's been this association been fighting in the law courts for 6 years now. Yeah. It's costed the UFC about $80 million. So there's already an association already formed before the fighters jump on board, and be a part of it. If this ain't the time, I don't know what other time you're waiting for, because nothing's going to change unless you do something about it. And you've got the champions, the top guys saying we want a better deal. Then the other guys need to follow suit. Otherwise, you're going to be coming to the same position and saying, okay, where's my better deal? Well, no, motherfucker. You had the time to do it, and you did it. Just shut the fuck up. That's really annoying. That's what's really annoying, right? Well, this is the opportunity and time to go and make change, but it's taken about 6 years to get to this point with this lawsuit. It's going to probably take longer because the UFC doesn't in their contracts. They don't want the Ali Act in the contract. They don't want this equality coming in. They don't want the 40% share of the total revenue to be. They want to keep it as low as possible. And all the guys that decide to try a mutiny, they put them on ice, or they pay them off and tell them to shut the fuck up and get back to work. That's what they do. That's what they're trying to do here. So if John Jones and Gamebred doesn't get a deal, they're going to be on ice. They're going to be filing a lawsuit themselves, I bet you.
Do you think your Ali Act that is in any way coinciding with the guys? Are they following your lead sort of thing, or have they asked you for advice on anything? Or
I've just pointed them to the right direction, to their association with Randy Couture and all these guys that have sued them from 6 years ago. These are the guys who've been fighting hard for this Ali Act to come in, because it shows equality. These fighters aren't even employees. Yet the UFC owns their images. They can't have sponsorships. They have to wear uniforms. Why aren't they employees? Why don't you look after them when they're retired? Why is Tim Sylvia, Mark Coleman asking for help to fix their shit? Why are they asking for GoFundMe shit? Yeah. Because you fucking screwed everyone and screwing everyone, and will continue to screw everyone and make all these excuses up and say, it's not the right time, it's COVID, it's this and that, it's a new company. They all got these bullshit excuses. The truth is, you need to put in the Ali Act so the fighters can share the revenue of 40%, not 20%.
Yeah.
Then they can make the money, the fucking Anthony Joshua money, not your fucking squabbling for $1 million.
What is your deal now? Are you going to be fighting ever again, or can you not fight now, or what is your deal with your contract?
I've been out of the UFC for about 2 years now. I've been still in a lawsuit with these guys. My lawsuit got thrown out in Vegas because they probably paid all the judges off and everyone there. I got a hometown there. My court case is pretty strong, but the problem is they own nearly everyone around in Vegas, and we've had to go to an appeal. So if they can buy off these 9 district judges in the high court in America, well then I'll lose again. The same thing happened to Shamrock. I was talking the other day. I had an open and shut case. Went to Las Vegas. He got hometown. He got screwed, and he's like, he didn't know what happened. Did the same thing to me. So I mean, this is what happened with my 11 calls of action. Stuff in my contract that should have been easily won. Like they forced me to fight a fight I didn't want to fight. Otherwise, they'll take away my livelihood. They don't even enforce their contract rules with their steroids. There's so many discrepancies that they've done wrong. Yeah, I mean, and I failed. I didn't fail. I got thrown out in Las Vegas because I got a hometown.
Mm.
So, and that's what's happening. I just signed a boxing fight, so I'll be boxing in hopefully September after this thing COVID moves on, and then hopefully trying to finish my career with 6 more fights, or 5 more after the boxing fight. So
come and have a fight in the UK, looks like. Come and see you.
Sorry?
I said, come and have a fight in the UK so I can come and watch you.
Well, yeah, it's like I said, I'm a prize fighter, and it's all about money. And if they got the money out there, yeah, of course.
Hell yeah. Would you ever turn to bare-knuckle boxing? Because that seems to be big up here now.
Well, look, man, I was speaking to someone about it. We made a contract, a deal. I said to him, I'll do 3 fights, $30 million US. Send me the contract. 2 weeks later, he's lying. I spoke to some of the antitrust lawsuit boys. They said the guy's a junkie. So, all this bullshit contracts going around, the guy's fucking full of it. When you ask the contract, they're just making shit up. So, I mean, don't believe whatever you read in the papers unless someone tells you about it. So I've been talking about this to this bare-knuckle, and I said, yeah, okay, I'll do a fight, 3 fights, $30 million. Let's do it. Send me the contract. Never heard from him again. Fuck.
I think 3 fights with you would make that back in revenue from ticket sales. I mean, who wouldn't want to watch you fight in a bare-knuckle fight there? I would.
I don't think the guy had the authority or the money to do it, so he was just fucking probably high as he was talking about
it. There's plenty of them up there, son. So do you keep your hand in coaching or in the gym or helping anybody out now, or you just concentrate on yourself?
Yeah, I don't train anyone. It takes a lot of time to train anyone. I just take a few people on the pads now and then that they ask to do it. If I'm not too busy, I have a few businesses I'm up to doing now. To try and get running up again. So I'm doing a lot of business stuff these days. And like I said, these 2 lawsuits that I'm with, it keeps me busy.
Yeah, I bet.
Trying to see what's happening with these lawsuits. I really want these guys to, and these guys are losing in court. To be honest.
Yeah, especially like you said, if it's true about them having judges on their side. I mean, it's an uphill struggle for you.
I'll lose. That's when then you'll know there's no point in having fucking laws and that shit there, because they can just buy it off.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I mean, they have contracts and they don't even stick to them themselves. So, when you see this fool talking about his own contracts and they made a deal. I made a deal with these fools and they reneged on these deals how many times? I wouldn't fucking trust a word those fuckers say.
So I got one question for you, right? And it's a bit of a personal question for me. Now, you were clearly against drug users and steroid users and cheats, okay? So my opinion is, if you get caught cheating, okay, you shouldn't be allowed to come back in and automatically be in the top rank. What's saying you didn't get to that level because you're a cheat? Do you think they should start at a lower level again and work their way back to the top? Or do you think they shouldn't be allowed to fight full stop?
They shouldn't be allowed to fight. I mean, they should take all their money off them and take them off and ban them, because the people that do that, I mean, look at all the other sports. They've taken away people's livelihood. They've taken away the guy they should have won, taken away their kids' fucking livelihood, and all the advantages their kids should have got because that guy cheated. And their laws, their contracts state this. Their contracts, even when they screwed me over with Brock Lesnar, they said, the contract clearly said, we could take away all his money that he earned. And then when we found he was cheating, we asked him, well, now that you found that he's cheating, take away all his funds. And they didn't. They just sent us a letter from their lawyers saying, well, we've honored our obligations to Brock Lesnar. They're just crooked. They are. They do their dealings when they want to do it. Same thing happened with when I got pulled from a fight in Sydney. It wasn't a doctor that pulled me off. It was their fucking lawyer. And then the contract it says only a doctor can pull you off from the fight. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, how does this fucking dumb lawyer Hunter Campbell able to pull me off the fight when it says clearly in the contract only a doctor can do it? These guys do their contracts how they want to do it. They're full of it.
So the reason I asked that question is just look at rugby. If you're caught cheating with steroids in rugby, you're banned for 2 years. You come back, you go and play for a lower level club, make sure you're clean and make sure you're good enough to play up a level. Then you go back to a higher level and perhaps get back to the top. In the UFC, they put them straight back in the top level. What's saying?
They're allowing these guys to cheat and get away with it. That's why it just makes no sense. Why allow these? The same thing happened with me with these cheaters. There wasn't just Brock Lesnar. There was a row of cheaters that I had to go through to get to this guy, and I got sick of it. And then they forced me to try and fight Josh Barnett, who's a fucking cheater. I said I wanted to put a clause in the contract saying if he's caught cheating, I don't want him to get any money. They said no. Then 2 days later, the guy pops, and I started laughing. I was like, "He's fucking being caught. You're a fucking piece of shit company." And then they came back and said, "Okay, we want you to fight this other guy. He was another fucking piece of shit cheater, another cheater named Alistair Overeem." And I'm thinking, "Fuck, wait a minute, you just." And then they kept harping about me to do this fight, and I said, "Okay, I'll do it. You have to put my clause in." But this time they didn't put the clause in. What they did, they sent me a letter saying, "We're going to fire your black ass if you don't do this fight." And I was sick of it. I said, "So you forced me to fight. You don't want to put a clause in. I mean, you give me a string of cheaters. You don't even enforce your policies. So here's a lawsuit." I had to drop the lawsuit because I was just getting screwed. When they say to you, Mark, we just have to put this guy through the USADA and do this and that. The USADA's in their pocket. Look at the evidence comes out after the fights when they've made their money. I mean, they're just full of it. They're all just lies. It's just, and you can just tell that they're always lying because all the fighters, even the champions, are starting to speak about more money. It's ridiculous. They don't enforce their policies. They don't honor their contracts. So why should anyone believe and listen to Dana and his bullshit?
I agree with you. Right there, Mark. Thank you so much for your time, mate. And it's nice to get to know your insight on your side as well. So all the best for the future, mate. And we'll catch up again.
All right, bud. Thanks, bud. Send me the video.
Will do, Mark.